This is Ross Castanaro interviewing Michael Dante at the June 2019 Los Angeles Hollywood Show. So now, out of all the characters in film and television that you've played, which one is your favorite?
My favorite role?
Yeah.
Oh, it's tough, but I have to favor Winterhawk. See, Winterhawk, I played the title role in Winterhawk. Very few actors, maybe 1/2 of 1% of the actors who ever lived had the good fortune, and the opportunity to play a title role. And I played the title role in Winterhawk. He was a Native American, a Blackfoot, young Blackfoot chief, and the story was a challenge between the railroad and the Blackfoot Nation, and that the decisions in the movie that I had made were not written. I made him a spiritual man. That was not written in the script.
Oh.
So that's the creative contribution I brought to the character and the story, so that every decision he made, he related to the elements of greater essence than ego. So that was a marriage of a characterization that I really was very thrilled to have the opportunity to play.
Cool. What was it like to work on that?
Oh, it was fabulous, because we were in Montana. And Montana is a beautiful state. The summer months, of course, and winter months is covered with snow. But the summer months, we had great weather. I mean, sunshine up until December. And usually you have snow and cold in November. So we had a very special couple of months of filming. And I love working outdoors, and Westerns are my favorites. I love to work in Westerns, and I love to watch Westerns. Because as a boy, my father said that he had hoped one day we would have a ranch and have horses. We were 5 in the family, and we all loved Westerns when we watched them. And so I had the opportunity as an actor to experience and to relate to that period of time in American history. And to be able to, they tell me that they can't think of more than 2 or 3 actors that played all 3. And they've said that nobody looked better than I did, or was more convincing. Playing, you have to play all 3. The Native American, the good guy cowboy, and the bad guy cowboy. So I did all 3. A lot of actors played the good guy cowboy and the bad guy cowboy, but never played the Native American. So playing all 3, several writers, when they interviewed, brought that to my attention. So I'm very proud of that and love doing Western. To this day I do, and I love watching it.
Very nice. Okay, and so what projects are you currently working on?
Working on my 4th book. I've written 3 books so far. One, I won my autobiography, From Hollywood to Michael Dante Way.
Ah, congrats.
Yeah. I won the Ella Dickey Literacy Award in Marshfield, Missouri.
Ah, congrats.
During they have a cherry blossom festival. And I was so fortunate to win the Literacy Award. I won several awards as an actor, but to win one as an author was something that really came out of the blue. I was pleasantly surprised and thrilled. Then I wrote, speaking of Winterhawk, I wrote the sequel to Winterhawk. I own the sequel rights to Winterhawk, so I decided I wanted to do a story that would follow the life of Winterhawk and the white girl that follows me or comes with me and becomes my wife in the story, in the life after the film. After the film ends, Winterhawk's land begins. So I wanted to write that story, and I did. And it's a good, no question, it would make a wonderful motion picture. It's called Winterhawk's Land. And my 3rd book is called 6 Road Home. another Western about 6 horse soldiers that muster out in the Civil War, and the war is over, it's finished, so they're happy to be going home. But now they're going home to what? It's as contemporaries I'm talking to you and talking to your audience. Because since the beginning of man and women fighting in wars, they survive the war, they all then have to think about returning home and the changes and the transitions that they have to make. What to expect, the doubts, the fears, all of the insecurities, and about their loved ones, what had happened during, in their case, these 6 horse soldiers, they were gone 4 years, and 4 years during the Civil War, you're lucky if you got a letter once a year, if it got through. Most of the mail never got through. So they were such doubt and insecurities about what to find when they got home, about their loved ones, if they're still alive, if they still love, if their girlfriends are still love them, and so forth. So it's a very dramatic piece, and no one rides off in the sunset. It's something. It's very sad, but it applies to today. That's why I wrote it. I had the passion to write it because it applies to all wars. The people that survive the wars experience the same emotions. They experience the same doubts, same fears. If they were coming back from Afghanistan or Iraq, it would be the same feelings.
Very nice. And did you have any favorite films or television shows before you started acting?
My favorite television show, I tell you, my favorite Western television show that I appeared in and guest starred in was Bonanza.
Ah, cool.
Bonanza was great family type stories. Wonderful stories of families and leadership was prevalent and evident in their stories. And of course, being outdoors and horses and good guy and bad guy, that there was no foul language and sex scenes that were so obscene like they are today. They're so blatant. And I love working in it, and I love the character that played. It was called the Brass Box. It was a good segment of Bonanza. But growing up, I liked Westerns were my favorites. Gene Autry, going to see on the weekends, we go to the movies, see Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, Ken Maynard, and all the Tom Mix, and all those wonderful Western, John Wayne, and it was just, and then think one day, watching the screen and watching all these wonderful people, that I would meet John Wayne and become a friend of John Wayne. And I thought, my God, how lucky can, an American boy be to idolize the great John Wayne, and then later asked it, after I did Winterhawk, his wife Pilar asked if I would participate and be one of the auctioneers at John Wayne's favorite charity event, which was for abused children. That was his favorite charity. And we came close, and he loved my work in Winterhawk. And he said, Michael, I got a great script we're going to do, but I've got to go to Hartford, and I'll be gone for a while. And when I get back, he said, I'll be in touch with you. Well, when he went to Hartford, found out that he had cancer, and I got a wonderful letter. He never said anything was wrong. He said, I'm sorry, Michael, I've got to take care of some business, and I'll be in touch with you. Well, when he went there, they told him he had a year to live. So almost to a year to that day, he passed away. And we never got the chance to do the movie. But he loved my work as an actor, and he loved Winterhawk.
I see. Very nice. Well, thank you for allowing me to interview you.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you.
And congrats on winning the awards for your books.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really proud of that.
Glad to hear
Thank
it.
you.
You're welcome. Well, there you have it. That was Rostro Castanaro interviewing Michael Dante at the June 2019 Los Angeles Hollywood Show.